What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Ceeworld Media, and I'm back with another movie review. Yo, today we got Judas and the Black Messiah. Say it ain't so. Man, I've heard the term snitches get stitches. But this dude right here, yo, man, it's really messed up what he did. Based on a true story, no one knows the story. They did a pretty good job telling this story. Obviously, a lot of stuff was left out, and a few things were made up in the movie. But all in all, you get the gist of what was going on if you don't know the story at all. They pretty much filled you in on how FBI pretty much conspired to take this guy out. When you have a strong voice and you're uniting the people, they don't like that. It's sad to say, but that's what happens. A lot of people have been assassinated in our history for trying to unite the people. If anybody's doing anything to segregate the people or to add division, to bring a lot of race wars and to separate one another, they're okay with that. They're cool with that. But anytime somebody wants to bring people together, to bring together the whites, bring together the blacks, the Asian population, Hispanics, anybody, to bring us all together for one common cause, they're going to try to get rid of you. And that's what they did to Fred Hampton. Real quick, spoilers, obviously, if you haven't seen this, it may be off of HBO Max as of right now, or as of today. I'm not quite sure, but if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Also, this is spoilers. If you don't want to know what's going to happen in the movie, stop watching, but leave a like first and subscribe, because obviously this video is sponsored by nobody. So go ahead and leave your boy a like. Please leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the movie. If you liked it, what you liked about it, what it taught you, and how you feel now, pretty much. It's open for discussion right now. This movie starring Daniel Kaluuya. You guys know him from Get Out, Black Panther, Queen and Slim. He did an episode of Black Mirror, Sicario, Widows. He was in Kick-Ass 2. He played the main guy, Fred Hampton, the guy who was assassinated by the FBI. And then you got LaKeith Stanfield, big up-and-coming actor. Well, he's already here. He was in Get Out as well. The Photograph, Uncut Gems. Played the detective in Death Note, L. He played another detective in Knives Out. He was Snoop Dogg in Straight Outta Compton. He was in Dope. He was in Snowden. He was in a lot of stuff. Two great actors. I think they're both nominated for Academy Awards. He played William O'Neill, the dirtbag of all dirtbags, scummy scumbags of all scummy rats, snitches ever in the history of the world. Pretty much, he was gonna go away for a crime that he did. He was a car thief, Grand Theft Auto online. He was caught, he was brought in, and pretty much the FBI blackmailed him. They were like, look, you can go away for 6 years. I think they said it was 5 plus another year for something. Or it was probably 5 and he had another charge for something else. So it could have been longer than 6 years. You can go away for this amount of time, or we can use you as a mole to infiltrate the Black Panthers, mainly to get close to Fred Hampton, get information that we need so we can bring him down, so we can bring him in, so we can have him in prison, so we can get him off the street, so we can have him just stop doing the good that he's doing. And he took it. Pretty much he sold his soul to the FBI, you know what I mean? And it's like, obviously most people in that case, in that scenario, if they give you a way out, you're probably going to take it. But you have to think about what they're asking you to do. You know what I mean? Most people would take it depending on what exactly they want you to do. But it got to the point where he got so deep in there with the Black with the Black Panthers and how they trusted him, where the FBI was like, Fred Hampton going to prison is not good enough. We want him dead. And he actually still kept going along with it. Now, I mean, if there's any credit we're going to give him, he did, you know, he started feeling remorseful a little bit. He did feel bad. He was like, yo, y'all got to do what more you want. Like, why you want him dead? You know what I'm saying? So he was getting pissed off about that, because he thought his whole job was to, in order to stay out of prison, was to just get info on Fred. Get info on him, feed it back to the FBI so they could shut him down. That's all he went in there with. He was like, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be cool with him. Kind of like that movie Into Deep. Shout out to Uncle L, Queens, New York. You get in there, find out what's going on, and give them the information. Also, like The Departed. There's a lot of movies like this. But this is real life right here, obviously. As the FBI saw, he was giving them information. They were finding out what was going on. They found out what his plans were, like what he planned on doing with the community, with the people and stuff. He was doing good. He was doing a lot of good. He was feeding a lot of people. He was helping a lot of people, providing education and stuff. Uniting, like I said, uniting a lot of the people together. Because a lot of people hated the cops. Which, I mean, today still do. But they were like, his power is going beyond what they expected. And they were like, look, locking him up isn't good enough. And they locked him up. First of all, they sent him to prison on some BS charge. They locked him up for like, they said it was ice cream or something. They said they tried to say he stole ice cream or something like that. Ended up getting out on bail or something like that to wait his trial to go back. So he got back out. He was on the streets again trying to help out. During his time he was in jail, they burned down the Black Panthers headquarters. Killed some of his people, stuff like that. It was very messed up. A lot of stuff that the cops were doing. A lot of cops were not being held. Back then, cops weren't held accountable for anything, to tell you the truth. There were no badge cams. There were no cell phones. Nobody was taking videos. Whatever they wanted to do, they could do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, there's an argument that could be made that a lot of that goes on today, but a lot of stuff really doesn't just fly how it used to back in the day. A lot of stuff they got away with back then, they can't get away with now. They still get away with a lot of stuff. I'm gonna make that clear, but not as much. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to walk a certain line, or they will be held accountable for certain things that they do. So back then, it was free reign. It was a green light. They could do whatever they wanted, and this movie shows that they were just they were loose out there in those streets, man. And they were like, in order for us to get close and to really shut this dude down, because they saw what he was doing. He was pretty much trying to unite the people against the 5-0. They call them, they call them pigs a lot in the movie. And obviously, they don't like that. The president didn't like that. FBI didn't like that. Nobody liked that. So they were like, we need to find a way in there to shut him down. But then when they found out shutting him down wasn't good enough, people were still doing work as he was in prison. They were like, look, just him being alive is giving them a lot of power. It was giving them a lot of courage to do what they're doing. So they were like, yo, we got to get Buddy killed. And they used William O'Neal again to orchestrate that plan to carry that out. And he was behind that. Now, mind you, it even said in the movie, I mean, obviously, if you know the story in real life, William O'Neal, he wrote like a book about this stuff, about what happened, like, and there was like a documentary and all this stuff, or maybe it was a documentary. I can't remember what exactly it was, but that night that it aired, they said on ABC or something, he like committed suicide. So maybe all the guilt and stuff just caught up with him, the karma of it all. He saw what he did, and obviously that story getting out to the world, everybody seeing what he did. Maybe he just thought he didn't have long, period. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people who want you gone after you doing something like that. Fred Hampton was murdered, cold blood, by the feds, and he was only 21 years old. He didn't even get to meet his son. If you've seen the movie, his girl was pregnant with their boy. Couldn't even meet him. He got killed before that. This just goes to show you a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we just may not know about. And I'm glad they shed a lot of light on this. The movie was very inspirational. I mean, it was good, It was sad, obviously, because of what happened and what took place. But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I heard there's another movie. I don't have Hulu, but something like the U.S. versus Billie Holiday or something like that, where she was killed because of something too, the same way by the feds. So, it's sad to see stuff like this happen. But in regards to the movie was good. Obviously, like I said, he lived a short life, but he did a lot of good while he was here. They kind of fizzled out after that. Obviously, their leader was gone, so that's what happens. If you cut off the head of the snake, everything else dies out. So they knew they just had to get rid of him. Everything would fall to the wayside in due time. Yes, unfortunately, they fizzled out. Everything was discontinued with the Black Panthers. But shout out to Daniel Kaluuya, because he's connected to the Black Panthers in every way, whether it's the real life Black Panthers or the fictional Black Panther movie from the Marvel Comics. the MCU, he was in that movie too. So he was in both movies. So that's great, man. Shout out to him and his career, what he's doing. He's a great actor. So is LaKeith Stanfield. So is the young lady, Dominique Fishback. I realized she was the girl in Power, Project Power, with Jamie Foxx, the Netflix original. It's a good movie, kind of superhero-ish. Yeah, she was in that movie. Did a very good job playing the love interest of Fred Hampton. She's really cool. She has an element of poetry in both movies, actually, in Project Power and this movie. I think that's like her a true talent. I don't think it's just for the movie, because I don't think it's a coincidence that she did that in both movies. Yeah, like I said, it's a sad movie, but I'm glad they make movies like this to shed light on what happened, just in the history of the U.S., what goes on in America. It's a tough watch. If you haven't seen it, it's a tough watch. Obviously, the spoilers, so I gave away a lot of stuff, but I told you that ahead of time. But even if you didn't care about the spoilers and you're gonna watch it anyway, a lot of movies like this are tough. Stuff like this that are based on true events and stuff that happened. If you heard the story, if you read about it, once the movie comes out, okay, you're like, okay, you know what's gonna happen. It's not a fictional story that you don't know what the writer put in the screenplay. Like, what's gonna happen, and a lot of people who know the story know what's gonna happen. So it's just tough to watch it when you see it with your own eyes and you see it play out. It makes you feel a certain way. But like I said, everybody has their own opinion. I'm not here to decide for you. Like I said, obviously, a lot of people feel different ways about the police. I'll say it like that. There's a lot of good cops out there. God bless them. And just like anybody else, there's a lot of bad cops out there. So this movie really showcases a lot of the corruption that went on in the FBI and the police force, and just in the government in general. And unfortunately, it had to take the life of a few people in this movie. It wasn't just him who died. He was a leader, obviously, but a lot of people got killed by them because, they had to do what they had to do to shut them down. So they knew there was going to be bloodshed. They knew they were going to take a lot of people out, and they didn't care, So it is what it is. The movie was nice. The acting was very nice. Your boy who played the mole, LaKeith Stanfield, he was very shifty. He was very crafty in the movie. He was quick on his feet. Because if you're a mole and you don't want to get figured out, you have to be quick on your toes, or they're gonna kill you if they find out what's going on. And he was pressured. He was pressed a little bit a few times in the movie, and he had to think quick, or they were gonna take him out. There was this one scene where I think they figured out, like, someone said something when they had a meeting with another group, and they said something about a badge, and two of the people in the group later on the night, they pressed him and they put a knife to him. They were like, "Yo, what are these people talking about a badge?" And he had to, tell his backstory about how he used to use a fake FBI badge to steal people's cars with the whole Grand Theft Auto stuff. That was actually true, but they didn't know that. So they were like, "Yo, was he a Fed? Are you a cop or what?" And he had to make up a story about how he got the current car that he had and he hotwired it. So they made him hot. They were like, "Yo, if you really hotwire cars, hotwire this thing right now in front of us." And he had a hotwire right there in front of him. I didn't think he could do it. The movie was progressing like he was just lying the whole time to show that, okay, he's just trying to get out of hot water. And he took a knife and hotwired it right there in front of him, and he got out of it. He was sweating, and he knew that was about to be his ass, but he got out. But there was different cases like that, and just like another case where he found out another rat got killed, which I don't think was a rat, but somebody got killed, and he started getting cold feet because he was like talking to the FBI behind the scenes. He was like, "Do people know about me? Like, can somebody find out about me?" He's like, "Cause they gonna kill me." And they started using that to their advantage as well. They were like, "Look, okay, we see that you're worried about this." Now, when they started pressuring him more to get more information on Hampton and to do more devious things to him, obviously not just information, but to try to kill him and stuff. Every time he wanted to back out, or every time he wanted out, he was like, "I'm done. I did what I had to do." They were like, "Yo, you either gonna go to prison," you know what I'm saying? Like, first they blackmailed him with that again, but then when they found out, they wanted Hampton dead, and he was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna be a part of that." They were like, "All right, if you don't want to do this, then we're just gonna let them know that you a rat." FBI was getting dirty and grimy, and they were like, "Yo, we gonna let them know. I guess you're gonna find out what they're gonna do to you." So he was like, "Damn, he's pissed off as hell." And he just had to keep going through that whole situation. you know, I'm kind of back and forth with it because he kind of deserves it anyway. Because, yo, man, if that's what they want you to do, if that's what they're going to blackmail you for, yo, go ahead and take your bid and then get out, and however long it takes you. But he you know, he took that agreement with the FBI and ended up messing up a lot of people's lives. A lot of other people, a lot of innocent people, too. And it's like, all because he didn't want to go to prison for what he did. You know, so he didn't want to be accountable and be responsible for what he did in his life to go to prison for the crimes he committed. So he was like, I'm gonna help the FBI ruin other people's lives. That's what he agreed to. So it is what it is, man. You got some slimy people out there, and unfortunately, this slime ball had to come in Fred Hampton's life and a lot of other people's lives in that chapter of the Black Panthers, and it ruined them. Literally burnt it to the ground when they burned down the headquarters. They built it back up, but yeah, that's the movie. If you've seen it, let me know what you feel about it. If you liked it, if you disliked it, and let me know how it made you feel, like on a personal level as you watch it, because it does hit hard in a lot of scenes, especially at the end, man. That was a tough watch. That was tough, man. For anybody. I don't care how tough you are. That hit hard. That scene right there. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Please like the video. Share the video if you want to. If you want to show people this review. Let me know what you want me to review next. Let me know what you guys are going to be watching. What's coming up soon. This movie I wanted to see. I wanted to do a review on it. I want to tell people how I felt. And I want to hear how you feel about it as well. Please subscribe. Please like the video. And just peace, love, and happiness to everybody out there so much. Because once you watch this movie, you may be pissed off, but at the end, if you take home the real message, you know that you should be spreading love to everybody and trying to unite people all together, yo. So that's what I feel we should all be doing. This is your boy Ceeworld Media, and I'm out.